Hello everybody, my name is Anju, Esther, Balakrishnan. I'm a legal intern of LEXIS and Company, and today I'm here to talk about the topic from caveat emptor to caveat Venditor. Before I start the topic, I want to say welcome back to our channel. If it's the first time that you're visiting our channel, please press the like and subscribe button in order to get more law related videos in the upcoming days. So let's go back to the topic. Caveat emptor to caveat Venditor. The name of the topic might sound a little bit confusing because it might consist terms that you might not have heard before. But before I explain what the terms caveat emptor and caveat Venditor means, let me say that this topic is related to the Consumer Protection Act 2019, which replaced the old Act of 1986 and had the objective to ensure that the interests of the consumers are protected and speedy as well as effective redressal is provided in cases of complaint. Before the Consumer Protection Act 2019, there was a policy of caveat emptor, which basically meant that the buyers had to beware. It is a phrase when converted mean let the buyer beware. It basically in simple sense means that the consumers or the buyers has to be responsible for the goods that they purchase. It's not the duties of the sellers to inform the consumers about the quality of the good or the provide the description of the good, but it's the duty of the consumer to be responsible and diligent while they're purchasing the good. And if the good is defective or damaged, then the seller would not be liable, but it would be the diligence or the negligence of the consumer that led to such a defect or damage. Basically, it stated that the whole responsibility would be upon the buyer and the seller would not be liable in any manner. And this sort of principle provided a leverage to the sellers and acted as a tool in order to misuse their powers. Sellers could misuse and abuse their powers. They could sell defective goods and they could use it as a defense in most of the arguments or cases. This defense was found the principle of caveat emptor states that the buyer should be beware of their actions and of the purchase, and it's not a responsibility, so we are not responsible. Hence, the sellers misuse this power a lot. Caveat Venditor basically means that let the seller beware. The complete opposite of the principle of caveat emptor. It states that the responsibility is on the sellers. The sellers should make sure that the buyers are provided a description of the goods. They know about the goods they purchase, and the buyer, it is not the duty of the buyer to diligently check the quality of the good, but the responsibility of the seller to ensure the buyer is reasonably informed about their products and would be compensated in cases of defective products. Basically, it is a warranty towards the buyers. This principle was formed after different cases through judicial discourse, which helped the court to understand that the principle of caveat emptor does not promote the law of equity, because basically the sellers had a lot of power, they could manipulate the power, and the buyers had unlimited liability over them. In cases of caveat Venditor, it's the duty of the sellers to be more responsible. The sellers had to know about had to ensure that the buyers knew about the goods that they purchased. And this new Consumer Protection Act ensured that the transition from caveat emptor to caveat Venditor actually happened by ensuring that this act prioritizes the rights of consumers, but at the same and also ensures that they empower them. Under the Consumer Protection Act 2019, the consumers had the right to complain and receive compensations, and they could complain from their home. They could complain through electronic devices. Other people could complain on behalf of the consumers. Basically, the consumers had a lot of means to provide complaints and to ensure that the sellers do not get away with their actions. False and misleading advertisements can also be complained. And if a defective product or service or goods is received, then the consumer can ensure that damages or compensation is received by providing a complaint, which would be checked by the dispute redressal commission. So basically, the sellers and the manufacturers have to fulfill their obligations in order to avoid that gathering in front of the dispute redressal complaints of providing compensation as well as losing their reputation. The framework of the Act of 2019 basically was very much advantageous to the consumers, because as I mentioned before, they have a lot of opportunities in order to speak up for their rights, and it provides them a lot of rights. It provides a lot of flexibility towards the consumers. But and thus the principle of caveat emptor basically started diminishing, while the principle of caveat vendita basically started increasing and started being highlighted or being used in all the places. So I hope that you guys could understand the evolution from the principle of caveat emptor to caveat vendita, what caveat emptor, what caveat vendita is, and about the rights of a consumer. If you like this video, please press the like and subscribe button, as I mentioned in the starting of the video. Once again, thank you for visiting our channel. Please continue visiting our channels in order to get more law related videos in the upcoming days. Thank you for your time and understanding. I hope that you have a wonderful day ahead.